A word about prison islands. Okay. It actually began probably sometime around 11th, like 900 or 1200 or somewhere around that. I started shipping, well, when I first started what is considered the jail or court system, like I said, you could get hung or jailed for just hearsay. Like I said, there wasn't all that much proof of what was going on in the past. So the thing was that I didn't really feel confident in that. Like I said, I had my cities, right, and my Auschwitz centers, right, but I wasn't really confident in exactly whether or not what I knew or what people were saying was actually real or true. People would say blah blah, guilty, blah 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 blah. So instead of killing, I mean, certain things, if a guard witnessed like you raping a woman, he could pull out a gun and shoot you in the head, or he might do that. If you were just, and usually after 3 warnings. I said 3 warnings and then shoot him in the head, because it's just, if they don't get it by the third warning, then they're not going to get it, basically. And probably, if they won't stop raping women, if they won't stop killing people, then basically 3 murders or three attacks, and pretty much, yeah, if you're witnessing it, do it. Pull out the gun and shoot him in the head. Like, you were told 3 or 4 times not to be doing this, and you just can't get along with others. And that's the way it is. That's one way of dealing with things. Like I say, in the greater respect, there was my rules for humanity, and then there was what's called. But anyway, smaller things like tax evasion or stealing or something like that, I didn't chop off hands for that, no. If you stole or whatever, you were just taken to a place, an island or something, where there wasn't anything. Basically like, here, take a walk. Keep walking. Keep walking. Like Australia was one jail. There were several jail islands, basically, where pretty much I'd build a fort, pretty much, with walls or whatever, and a dock, and then everything outside that is like, there's water. You'll find water. No, actually, at one point in time, at one spot, basically, I had a well and a mine, and I was actually mining out underneath the ground. But I would supply water to the prisoners. They would come up. There's this wall, basically, and every day there would be water coming out. There's faucets and everything else like that, so people could come and get water. And later on, we did kind of build a town for them and build some stuff for them, because it's like, all right, we'll build you some shelters. So we just like pushed them all back. Come on, get going. You don't want to get shot. And then we would build stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then we just kind of went back to our fort. Eventually, they made a run on the fort. We had to evacuate the fort evacuate the people onto the children, the families, and basically get out of there. And then later on, we came back. They were shooting at our ships and stuff I was like, well, they're going to run out of ammo someday. And eventually, they ran out of ammo, and then we just went on and we took care of it and then took back Australia. We lost Australia for about 2 or 3 years, and then we gained it back. But I mean, it was just a bunch of prisoners over there, and like I say, some of them were innocent and some of them were not. Mostly it was the women that were being punished or whatever, and I think it was the women that actually retook Australia because they were tired. They knew that there were women and children being suffering in China. I mean, not China. I mean Australia, and so they decided to take it back and regain a foothold of civilization. Most of the time, the prisoners just starve to death anyway. They have too much sex, or they fight over women. It's really bad. Like, I've watched it before. How they fight over women, or they fight over this, or they fight over that, and then eventually they stab each other, and eventually they start starving and they give up, and then we go out there, or they run out of food eventually, and then they're like, feed us. It's like, okay, you shouldn't have done what you did. They're dead. We're sorry. It's like, okay, all right, send them the ships. And so the ships come in, and rice is given out, and food is given out, and they're fed, and they apologize. Like I say, all you really have to do is take away. Like I say, I never really had to punish anyone. I didn't have to torture anyone. All I had to do was cut off my love and my support. It's like, all right, no more coffee, no more supplies, no more food. You're on your own. And usually people are like, we're sorry. What do you want us to do? All right. Anyway, in the greater respect, getting people to fall, like I say, mostly, with people, I would just say, I love you, you're misbehaving, stop it. And people, once they understood who I was and what I was and what was going on, most people stopped. They were like, okay, all right, no problem, we'll behave, and they just, and then everything was fine. It was only the blacks that were the problem because they thought we were bitches. Like I said, the black people, Harlem and Wolf, Brown and whatever, looked at the white people and looked at the Japanese and us and said and called us bitches. He thought we were just punk ass bitches. That's the truth of it. He was laughing at us. He was laughing at the Japanese too, and everyone. Anyway, I'm pretty sure, like I say, I'm pretty sure the Irish locked him inside of a cockroach-infested box or something like that. It looked, either that or he did that to the Irish. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, either way, like certain Irish went to prison, and they said it's worth it. It was worth it. So I don't know. The Irish did pay a big price. I mean, it looked like they were bad, and some of them were jailed, and some of them were sent to prison. But like I said, other Irish said, no, you're not guilty. Anyway, I saw the evidence afterwards, and I was like, okay. Because the black people did work really hard, and they had actually fooled the vast majority of people. Anyway, though, but yeah, prison islands, they were my thing. Once most people understood who I was and what was going to happen to them, they stopped being bad. It's like, well, this and this and this, and then there's also... Like I said, there are many people that will verify for you that at least 1,000 to 1,000,000 to 250 million people were punished and tortured over and over again for 120 years. But that was the total amount of people in all of human history. There were that many people. And after, and for the most part, I was like, well, I don't really feel that these other people were really that guilty. Anyway, in the end, they were given an option. Repay your debt or suffer the consequences now that you know that there are consequences. And most of them stopped and turned their life around and actually spent the rest of their life giving to others. Like I said, I was very, very, very happy. And once they understood what was going on, they stopped and they actually turned around. They acted right and actually even tried to persuade other people to act right too. I mean... It's true that they had some general idea that they were going to be tortured and punished for over 120 years or 1,000 years. So anyway, and then finally things were better and things went right back on track, as they say. Anyway, but that's what happened pretty much. There was lawlessness and whatever, and then a certain number of people were told the truth and shown the truth. So anyway. Yeah, and other people hated me for it. And it's like, well, they were bad. Anyway, but yeah. And then I was punished for 120 years myself. But it wasn't all that bad. I mean, everyone knew I was a great person. So, anyway.